I have a game tonight and I have nothing prepared. So I need to prepare a one-shot for tonight for 4 people of level 1 and I want it to be fun and surprising. So let's go to the sketchbook. When I start creating an adventure, I like to begin with my sketchbook. It's the perfect place to throw idea on paper, simple concept and key moment I want to happen in the story. For this one, I knew I wanted it to be a dungeon, so I started jotting down ideas, maybe Kobold living in an abandoned dwarven outpost. I'll have a good twist, so I decided these kobolds wouldn't just be there, they'd be forced to fight for survival. I also noted things I want to include, like multiple entrants, branching paths, and a few surprises. Then I made a rough list of enemies and rewards. The goal at this stage isn't to write the full adventure, it's just to spark creativity and let ideas build on each other. Next, I sketch a basic layout of the dungeon. This helped me get a sense of the overall flow and how the player might explore it. Once that's done, I refine the sketch, adding detail, shaping the room, and deciding what goes where. It's still just a draft, more a guide I'll use later when I build the final map and write the adventure. As I go, I'll often make little notes in the margin, ideas for trap, environmental hazard, or how certain area might connect logically. Sometimes a small doodle or shape inspire an entire encounter or puzzle. This part feels very freeform, almost like a storyboarding moment of tension or discovery, and it helped me visualize how the adventure will feel in motion. I like to add some color to make things pops, and finally I label everything so I won't forget my ideas later. Now that I have a sketch for my adventure, we can go to the computer to make a map. I like to start by making the map before I write the adventure. Over time, I've realized that I get my best ideas while map making, not while writing. That's why I keep writing for last. If the maps come first, I'm less tempted to change everything midway through. I always begin by drawing the world. It's helped me shape the layout and visualize the space, making sure there's room for everything I want to include. I work from the refined sketch I made earlier, but I often tweak or add things as new ideas come to mind. Nothing is final at this stage. Map making is still a creative playground. Once the walls are done, I move on to texturing the floor. This part is one of my favorites because the map starts to come alive really quickly. For this project, I also added some cliff to show elevation and make it clear we're in a mountainous area. For natural ground, I like to blend multiple texture layers. It gives more depth and realism to the map. Around the steps, I also adjust the wall shadows to ground the element and place visually. After that comes decoration. Adding furniture, lamp, vegetation, small detail that tells a story. This is where the magic really happens. By placing objects intentionally, you can make the map suggest what's going on. For example, here I place an axe on a chair and made a hole in a stone slab. And I'll explain later why those details are important. I finish by adjusting the lighting. I love creating shadow and light to give a sense of atmosphere. It might take some time, but lighting can completely transform a map. It's one of the best ways to make it feel truly alive. Map making can feel a bit intimidating at first, but it's a really fun process and I want to encourage you to give it a try. The more you do it, the better you get. And before long, you'll start seeing your idea come to life in ways you didn't expect. Now that we have a map, we only need to populate it with encounter and rewards so that we know what happened when our players go through it. The last part of the process is writing the adventure. Some dungeon masters work from very simple notes, sometimes just a few bullet points or even a single word to describe an entire scene. Others prefer detailed notes with box text, custom rules, and multiple possible outcomes. There's a lot of debate online about which style is best, but honestly, the best one is the one you enjoy using. Whether you write only keywords or pages of details, both approaches are valid. It's all about what makes you comfortable behind the screen. Personally, I like detailed notes. I don't always read them word for word during the game, but I like having them written down. It's helped me remember detail later, especially if I revisit the adventure months or even years after running it. And, of course, I like making them detailed enough that I can share the finished result with you. For my notes, I use Homebrewery for three main reasons. First, it's easy to use. It might feel odd when you first see all the code on the left, but once you get the hang of it, it's simple. Second, it's much faster than a regular word processor, because it gives you ready-made template for stat block, spells, and other D&D specific element. And third, it just looks so cool. Creating a document that looks official makes the process way more satisfying. For this adventure, I started by writing a short overview of the story and its hook. An evil goblin wizard named Vrekth and his army of kobold minions have taken over a nearby abandoned dwarven outpost. The nearby towns wants the player to deal with him. Simple, classic, and full of potential twists. Then, I wrote a detailed description for each room on the map, including event, traps, and discovery. Finally, I had any custom item or stat block I might need during the session. That way, everything is ready at my fingertip when the game begins. Now that the adventure is finished, let's take a look at some of the key rooms. First, there's the dining hall and the main mining cave. Both areas are guarded by a group of kobolds ready to fight, and each one houses one of the goblin wizard lieutenant, a gnoll named Peck in the dining hall, and an hobgoblin named Grash in the mine. They serve as tougher enemy and act as gatekeepers standing between the hero and the wizard himself. Next is the forge. Here the player can encounter the ghost of a dwarven blacksmith in two animated armor defending the area. If the party convince the spirit, Dorn Granitebind, that they mean no harm, it'll share valuable information about that goblin wizard through intention. And if the player recover an unfinished axe from the hobgoblin's quarter, they can bring it back to Dorn, who will complete it and forge a magical weapon just for them, a custom item I created for this adventure. Then we have the Kobold camp. When the party arrives, the kobold will appear hostile but won't attack immediately. Through conversation, the player can learn that the kobold were forced into service by the wizard and are too frightened to rebel. If the heroes earn their trust, they might gain a few unexpected allies for the final confrontation. Finally, we come to the well room. Here, an ancient dwarven well leads deep underground to something truly horrific. Long ago, the dwarves sealed it using a massive enchanted stone slab, but Vrekth, the goblin wizard, is trying to break that seal. This is the true reason he claimed the outpost in the first time. For Vrekth himself, I built a custom monster stat block by blending trait from the goblin and cultist entry. It's a quick and easy way to create unique monsters that still feel balanced and familiar during play. My adventure for tonight is ready. I will be able to run this very fun dungeon for 4 people. And if you want to run the same adventure, go in the description below. You'll find a link to download the PDF and everything you need to run it. And please let me know in the comment what kind of adventure you like to do. Also subscribe to have a new D&D creation every day. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!